So hello everybody, welcome back. I hope that you like this video and that you find it helpful somehow. And anyway, it's a requested video. So I hope that the information here is helpful somehow, and at the same time um, is important to point out that it's about selling things, which is not the same as buying things, and it's not the same as trading things, and it is not going to be appropriate for a lot of markets, but I'm going to try to be as specific as I can. And so it might be long because I'm going to explain to you why of the products. That way you might be able to follow the thought process and then find another alternative or find other products or items within the same line of thought. Now, having said that, then I also wanted to remind you that I do have a couple of books on shopping, and I have other some tips on economical things, as in the kind of like the same thought process about selling, but it's just about everything within your house and things that are important. And so they are in Gumroad, by the way, and the links are down below. So anyway, grab your coffee, and if you wanted to share one with me, you will do that. Links for that down below. And if you wanted to help me out, you can also send an Amazon gift card. And now we are coming to the main points. So I'm going to try to talk to you about several items or several categories, and selling things is going to be different during hard times or when people don't have access to a lot of things. So understand this from the perspective of the commerce, or at least the seller, which is there is no credit. I'm going to say that one again. Please just breathe and think, what does it mean if there is absolutely no credit whatsoever and there is no financing? So you selling anything when you have a lot of people that have credit cards and things like this, and the economy is always hopeful, and the economy is always running, and it always have flow of money and debts, and people pay interest, so there is a lot of money to be made even by making money, lending money, and things like this. But when it is hard times, there are two ways in which you can access money, other than selling something or buying something or renting something. The finance is going to be done by loan sharks, and 9 out of 10 people that deal with loan sharks are going to end up, in a very, very, very bad situation. Think about kind of like if you were in Japan and then you have to deal with the yakuza or something like that. So it's kind of like that. Or think about people that will probably sell you into slavery if they can, because you own the money. So, serious to God, that one is a big problem. But however, it will be one of the ways in which people will access money, because now there is no option of you going to the bank. So if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy anything, you will not be able to get anything done, because there is no insurance and there is no credit. Therefore, if you're going to sell a house and things like this, it will be done to people that are in other countries, because that is the only way that you will get that huge amount of money. So that one is going to be one big deal when you're talking about properties like cars or houses or boats or anything that is big in terms of the money. So this one is huge. It has lots of implications, because if you are in this market, then understand that you're very likely going to be drowned. And we used to have a lot of businesses that were related to selling houses and buying houses and things like this, even flipping houses and whatever it is. But now that one is just almost non-existent. And not only is almost non-existent, but anything related to renting houses is going to be also a problem, because whenever you need to rent a house, you need to pay a lot of deposit and things like this. And if people don't have enough money, because they don't have access to credit. They don't have access to the banks. They don't have access to large amount of money. Then this is just going to be, forgotten or not done. So it's going to be like a big deal. Only people that have dealings with huge amounts of money in cash and things like this might be able to pull this off. The second one is you going to what we call a bag, money bag. Now, getting money through a money bag is kind of like this. Let's say that you are going to sell 10 TVs. So you go and look for 10 people that want to buy the TVs. And then you go and tell them, hey, I'm going to sell you the TV, but you will have to go through an intermediary, as in one person. And this person will charge you, let's say, $5 per month. And they will collect money from the 10 clients that you picked, or they picked you and they will sign a contract with you. And then they will put something as collateral, and then the other party will pay you. So it's kind of like I pay $20 to the intermediary for every single month for a year or maybe more, and then I'm done with the payments and that's it. So every month I will pay $5 extra just so that the intermediary can have whatever it is that he is going to have, because he's going to take a cut on me, which is a $5 commission, which is going to be every month. And that way all the other party members will know that they will pay the money. So the merchant is going to be paid, and that way no one is going to flip over the things, and everybody will get the TVs. And it's kind of like that. So there will be people that will be doing this, and they will be, it's kind of like a pawn shop, except that this one you are asking someone, just one person, to act like if they were a pawn or something like that, and they will get money from you, which is the TV is supposed to be 500, but at the end of the day they are going to pay only 450, because it is 10. You are selling 10 right now, so the 10% off is going to be taken by the pawn, and additionally they will take $5 every month or something like this, so that it's kind of like the interest of the money. And then that way you are selling everything, and for this you will have to take a lot of connections and things like this. And it's very important that you also figure this one out, because not everybody will be willing to be clients of buying the TV that you are selling or something like this. And so when the amount of money is big, like huge, as in $500 or more, or $400 or more, most people will be dealing with that one. And so is the way to go, because otherwise you will not be able to sell. I mean, seriously, if everybody is working and they are getting paid $5 or maybe $10 or maybe $50 per month, if you're going to sell a TV and it is $400, this person is going to have to save their entire salary for a year, just so that they can give you the payment of the TV. That is without you paying rent, transportation, food, or anything else. And so the probability of you selling the TV is just not going to happen. However, if you put it in places and you get like a warrant by the pawn thing, then you will be able to pull this off. And the pawn is the one that is going to get, all of the collaterals, all of the payments and things like this, and the contracts, and that is how people will deal with this. There are now even apps. You download certain apps, and the app will collect money from you every month and things like this, through certain contracts and things like this done through your cell phone. So every time that you get money, the app will know, and then it will take the money out immediately and things like this. I have no idea how that one works entirely because, quite frankly, I haven't downloaded it and I'm not going to. But the point is that it works on certain malls. So if you go to the Sunville Mall or if you go to certain major stores, they will have this thing because they know that you need to buy a washing machine. Okay, that one is literally $600. Who has $600 to pay for a washing machine? But you do need it. And so major stores will have to find some sort of app or anything that acts as a bank because otherwise they will never, ever, ever sell anything. And so taking this into consideration, if you are the type of person that will download apps and things like this, then you might develop this or whatever it is. I don't know. But the point is, if you want to sell something, it has to be something cheap, fast, that does not need a lot of transportation cost because it is heavy or it is too big or whatever it is. Because quite frankly, the other problem that sellers are going to face is sending and receiving packages. And at this point, I had a couple of videos on those. If you saw them, then that's cool. But otherwise, you will know that sending and receiving packages is going to be a major nightmare. So if you're thinking that you can sell things online. So for example, if you are in California and somebody's in Florida, and you will be able to sell things to Florida even though you're in California, then you are very likely mistaken. The reason being, well, if you send anything from California to Florida, the cost of transportation is going to probably be 4 times the product. So if you're selling I don't know, let's say that you're selling shoes, which in Florida they cost $40. So they are buying yours because yours in California is $10. However, as soon as you add the shipment, that shoe put in Florida is going to be $55 or $60. So no, you gotta go local. The only deliveries that are going to be made are the ones that are literally within your town. And that is because you can send a motorcycle or somebody in a bike. And motorcycles do not consume a lot of fuel, and at the same time they're kind of cheap, and at the same time anybody can pay like $1 or $2 or sometimes $3 or maybe even $4 or $5 for a delivery. But that's it. But you are not going to pay $400 or $100 or $70 or $80 just so that you can have something cheap for 2 hours, because that is going to be insanity level, the amount of weight. For example, I was going to send a package to my aunt, and it was like 20 kilos. And I know it's big, but packages that you are sending with a lot of things are going to be roughly, and that 20 kilos, it was the equivalent of something like $67 or something like that. My mom was looking at me like, so more than $60? Are you joking? I mean, am I sending gold here? I'm not sending it. And so the drama with sending things, when you are buying and selling things in not for retail as in one item, but a lot of items, is going to be very expensive. And if it is just one item, I think that the minimum is going to be like one envelope size is going to cost you $5 or maybe $4. And if it is going to be a package of up to 1 kilo or 2 kilos, it can be very expensive, because after you pay the $5, you gotta add up, I think it's like $2 or $3 per kilo. And that is because we are here in which things are based upon kilos and not pounds. And at the same time, it's here because we don't pay a lot of wages and we don't pay a lot of things. But if you were to calculate that into somebody from the US or something like that, it will be kind of like you paying from an envelope from California to Florida or something like that. Let's say that it will cost you, sending an envelope will cost you, let's say $15 or $20. And that is you sending something normal. So $20, and if you were going to send a package or something like this, it might be 25, or it might be, $200 or $250. So that is a lot of money. And if you don't have it in cash, that is also going to be the major problem, because cash, the amount of things that you have to pay in cash cannot be that big, because obviously not everybody will have huge amounts of cash at hand. And so when you are selling things, you want to consider all of these things. And when you are selling things, you also want to consider the time that it will take for things to arrive at your place if you have them cheap, or the time that you will have to invest trying to get this thing online, or whatever it is, because it's going to be a major hazard thing to try to get it. And so it is one of those things that it will come with experience, but basically try to think about how merchants made money, because they were able to do the transportation things. And the transportation is going to play a key role when it comes to selling anything, because transportation is not just you getting the item from whatever place it is being produced to the store, but also how the customers will get to the store, or how the customers are going to get to major points, or in which they are like drop off or something like this, and then you can get the products there. So having said that, then there is a lot of products that people will buy, and people will certainly, will be spending money on this. But, and here's the major part, but you won't be able to sell it. And you're like, what do you mean? So people have the money, people are buying it, and then I'm not selling it. Yeah. What do you mean? Well, this one is one of those things that preppers channels, a lot of prepper channels have mentioned this before. They are completely right. And they are doing it by intuition, by the way. So let me explain this. Let's say that somebody is selling guns, ammo, and something for hunting. And they have a name which the stores is called hunting treasures, or hunting animals, or something that people will immediately know that this store is for hunting, okay? So a package arrives at your home and it says hunting supplies. So your neighbors, anyone in your neighborhood, will be noisy, and they will know that you bought equipment or something for hunting. That means that you got a bow, arrows, ammo, whatever it is. But they know that you got it. So there is famine, and now everybody is thinking about hunting rabbits. So the first person that will come to mind in everyone's eyes is going to be, you guessed it, you. The reason being, well, who buys hunting things? And who do we know that will buy hunting things? Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, so congratulations, you just became the official hunter for your entire block, because everybody knows that you have hunting equipment. And so, yeah, now you are the target of everybody. And everybody will know that somehow you got animals and you hunted. And if you don't give them the animals that you hunted or things like this, they will be looking down on you, or they will be looking on you, or whatever it is, because they're going to be kind of like, that guy have ammo, and he's hunting animals, so why can he not share this thing with me? Especially if they are, if they are your neighbors and they already know your name and things like this because you got the package. And so other stuff that you will be into this situation might be kind of like, I'm going to tell you the category so that you can figure this one out. Water pumps and water tanks. If you are in a building and nobody gets water, but you, all of a sudden, when they turn on the water pump for the entire building, you are the one who is getting water, but nobody else is getting the water, everybody will think that it is because you have a water pump in your apartment. Sorry, I got interrupted. And so there is a lot of people that have been into a lot of trouble because they have bought a water pump, and one of the neighbors noticed that they had a water pump, And whenever you have a water pump and your neighbors do not have water, they will think that it is your fault that they do not have water. And they will not blame the government, they will not blame anybody, they will blame you because you are the one who is stealing all of the water because you are the only one who has a water pump. And so if you sell water pumps, it's something that you will definitely sell. But like I said, everybody will be like, do you know who sells water pump? No. Do you know where? No. No, me? Water pump? Oh no, that's too expensive, whatever it is. No, not even my brother. No, nobody knows. No, not my family. No, we know that this is a problem, so we don't get it. So it's going to be kind of like now, prepping items are going to become kind of like, I'm not going to say illegal, but they are going to be treated like if you were selling drugs or something. It's going to be kind of like, be careful. Nobody, no, you can't have anybody see you that you are selling or getting this thing because no, because yeah. So to the point in which there are people that will buy certain things and they will ask people to wrap them up like if they were a present. So if somebody like a neighbor says, "Oh, what is that?" "Oh, I don't know. It's a present. Somebody sent it to me," and then that way, nobody's going to ask, and you can say something like, "Oh, my sister's boyfriend," or "My brother's girlfriend sent my brother that thing, so I'm supposed to keep it here until my brother comes," or whatever it is, So you will try to make excuses, and then that the only thing is that the packages must not have anything that says anything related to what they have inside. Or stuff like this, and because it can be a problem. Serious to God, I mean, even people that I have known have been into so much trouble. It's like there is people knocking on your door, and it's the police, and the police is there because they are saying something like, "Oh, we got a call from several neighbors saying that they don't have water and it is because of you, so we want to know what the hell," and blah blah blah. And honest to God, you do not want to be in that situation, so you don't have. You don't have the possibility in your head of having, the neighbors knowing that you bought anything. The water pump will be the same. The water pump and the water tanks. The water tanks is because if you have a water tank that anybody can see, I have mentioned this before. When there was a national power outage and we didn't have water on day 2, there was a lot of people that were knocking on my door, a lot, asking if they can get water, even if it was, the bottom of the water tank, which is very dirty, by the way, because they needed to flush the toilets. So they needed at least, 10 buckets or 8 buckets or whatever it is. And they even tell me something like, "I can help you out by pulling the rope and things like this, and I can help you out collecting the water. I don't care. We're going to work it out, whatever," because, and things like this. So it's going to be a major problem when people notice that you have a water tank. And so at this point, the water tanks that are on the roof, because at this point, like I said, I mean, come on, look at all those houses. They all have water tanks. And everybody's trying to get water tanks that are on the roof. The reason being is that when you have a roof one, how are you going to get water from that? You can't share it. But the bad news about that type of water tank is that your neighbors will know that this means that you can shower. Because, it doesn't work with electricity and you can collect it through the pipes. And so basically that means that you can shower. And so you might have neighbors saying something like, "Can I shower at your house for 5 minutes?" or something like this, even though that they will take 20 minutes, get in the shower. "Can I do this or can I do that in your house?" And then, you're going to be put in the spot. And that's why there is a lot of people that, although people will be investing money into these things, it's not going to be as pretty, and it's not going to be easy for you to advertise it with through the word of mouth or other people saying good things about the product or whatever it is, because most people will be quiet and they will try to maintain themselves out of the product or out of the line. However, like I said, with the roof one, if you can make it somehow that the roof tank, you are not going to see it from outside your house, then that will be the best. I mean, there are people that are even building like a small shed on the roof of their houses so that no one can see that they actually have a water tank, because it's a problem. And so there are a lot of products that will be like that. So you will sell them, but it's going to be a problem. Another one will be things that are related to diapers, sanitary pads, and of course baby formula. If you have any of those products, I swear to God, you might need to have the National Guard on your place every time that you have those, because the things that will disappear first are going to be the baby formula, because babies consume food like insane amounts, and at the same time it's going to be a major problem producing and getting baby formula. And if you don't have that, then what exactly are you going to feed your baby? Your baby will probably die or starve. And at this point, if you have a parent or an aunt or all the family, and I do mean all the family, like godparents, aunts, brothers, sisters, elders, every single person that you know will have someone that has a baby. So it's like virtually all of the adults are going to fight. And for all I know, when there were problems with riots, actual like riots, and people, being attacked by tear gas and all of these things, when there were people in the supermarkets, it was because baby formula was being sold and baby diapers were being sold. And so adult diapers are going to disappear, and if you have baby diapers and adult diapers, then you will be set for life. The reason being, well, let's see. You might not need it yourself, but here's the deal. You have an elder in your family, either your grand or your grandpa or your uncle or your great uncle or whatever it is, okay? So you have somebody who is elder, or somebody who just got into a car accident or something like this, and they need diapers momentarily, okay? Because they are in a bed hospital or something like this, in which you will probably need diapers. Not for long, but you will need them. And so here's the deal. The people that are looking after them, they are not going to look after them if they are not wearing diapers. The reason being, well, if they poop or pee on the bed, then you are going to have to clean the bed, you are going to have to lose the mattress, you're going to have to clean the mattress, you're going to have to do a lot of things. And guess what? That is not part of the curriculum of the nurses or whoever is taking care of them. Therefore, one of the conditions that anyone who is dealing with elderly and anyone who is dealing with babies is going to be, we do not deal with people without diapers. Therefore, if you want to go out or you want to do anything, you need the diapers. Otherwise, who is going to take care of them? And at the same time, if your grandma or your mom or whatever it is, is going to be damaging all of your mattresses and things like this because there is no diapers, and the diapers must be disposable, and you are going to spend three to 6 diapers daily. And so you can imagine these packages are 20. So this means that you need 6. 6. It's going to be just 6 days. So every 6 days you must provide a new diaper package, if it is a 21. And some diaper packages comes in packages of 10 or even less. And so that's going to be every 3 days you must provide a new package. And that is not just you. How many people do you know who are elderly? And how many people do you know that are babies and require diapers? And so the most difficult size and diapers to get are going to be the kids' diaper who are extra large, as in XG, or XGG, or XXGG, or whatever you want to call it. I mean the extra large, or the extra thing, the double extra thing, for kids who are up to 3 and 4 years old, because there will be a lot of kids who are heavy, and and in the preschooling, in some preschooling, they will not take kids that do not have diapers. And so even the teachers will be kind of like, I'm taking the kid, but the kid is two, and they don't, they don't control this thing. They don't know how to go to the bathroom, and even if they do, if they make a mess in the classroom, I can't have it, and things like this. And so you're going to be able to sell all of those products. And of course, every single woman that you know will have a period. So when you're dealing with sanitary pads, either the reusable ones or ecological ones, as in the ones that are made out of cotton and you can wash them, or the ones that are disposable. The ones that are disposable are going to be insane, the amount of those things that you will need, and the amounts that you will need to store. And most women, if you have never in your entire life used the one that is reusable or the one that you can wash, then very likely you are not going to be able to manage changing the style from the disposable one to the washing one. And at the same time, if there is no water and there is a problem because there is not even a washing machine for you to take all of these things and just throw them in there, that is also going to be like a big deal. So honest to God, those things are important. The next item that you are very likely, and you are going to sell it, oh my God, like a hot cake. That one you will sell like a hot cake. Even the most poor people, poorest of the poorest of anyone who is poor, will get this one. It doesn't matter, insane. And that is the container, the water container, that it is blue and it contains 5-gallon thing. Reason being, well, I have mentioned this before. When you're going to get water, you need potable water a lot, huge quantities. And you will get water through water trucks and to, you go into the store and just replacing that thing and getting new ones and things like this. And so you need to get those. Right now, if you're in good times, how many houses do you go to that will have, that potable water thing? Probably none. But as soon as the first thing that happens with water, the first crisis that happens with water, oh my God, you will buy 5 or 10 of these things, and then you will need them. And the problem with this is that you need a lot because these things break. 25 years ago, these things were made out of glass. But then glass is heavy, and at the same time, it is more expensive. And at the same time, it's insane how to handle this through the water through, containers that just drop and weigh because they are heavy and things like this. So, only men were the ones that were able to carry potable water because it is too heavy, and the amount of work that it requires. And then you're kind of like, yeah, I can do it. Yes, I know, you're a woman like me. I can do it too. That's not the problem. The problem is that if you have to carry 5 of those on a daily basis, sometimes even twice a day, are you really going to do it? Because, not even men are willing to do it. So that is how hard dealing with this thing is. And so at this point, most people, also, if you're going to buy water, here's the deal. If you buy the water container that is 1 liter or something like this, then let's say that you're paying $1. So you need $20. However, if you're getting the blue one, you're paying $5. So you're paying $5 for 20 liters. I wonder what are you going to do? So are you going to go one by one, as in 20, or are you going to spend 5 and get 20 liters? So of course, everybody will go with the standard, and the standard is that one, the blue one. And so anything that is not standard, as in, it's a different package, different brand, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, it's a different thing. If it is a different thing, then you gotta find a place that will take it, which not every place will take it. And then nobody will know how much water that thing can contain. So that's going to be a problem because you are going to be sold water by the liter. And at the same time, that one is a standard. That one is 20 liters. As I said, nobody measures these things. Everybody knows this is 20 liters. That's it, you're done. But if you have a new container, you're probably going to pay $6 or sometimes more. And the people might be like, okay, that is kind of like half, so I'm not going to charge you $5, but I'm going to charge you 3.5. And so at the end of the day, you're paying more money for the same water. And so no, that has to be the standard. And so people will get this plastic blue thing insane, like huge amounts, because you need two per person, roughly two per person for 3 days, sometimes for a week, depending upon how much water you're going to use for cooking. And if you have a baby in your house, you are bathing the baby with that water. You're not bathing the baby with other kind of water. And so, because if you're going to use the water from the pipe for showering or for anything, you will develop problems with rash, allergies, and definitely poison long term, because the water will be contaminated with metals and God knows what. I have shown you videos in which the water that we get through the pipe is brown. Actually brown, like that brown. Or yellow, like that yellow. So or like that color weird metal thing is so serious to God. No, I mean, no, serious to God, no. And so if you're thinking that you can get get away from everything with filters, I'm going to tell you that filters are going to become a headache. You can have them, but they are going to be a headache long term. I mean, they will work short term, but long term, no, they're a headache. Yeah, so serious to God, just hear me out later on, because filters are they take long time. Also, you need to replace them frequently. Also, if you're thinking that most filters will be okay with water, that it's kind of like a gray water or something like this, but when the water is actually murky or brown like that or something like this, yeah, the filter is going to be out in less than in less tries that whatever the brand says it will be. Because during an emergency, you're not thinking that through the pipe you are going to get water that is actually brown, and so you're not thinking that. And so no, that's why the filters are going to be like a headache. Also, filters are very expensive, because you will have to buy them and recycle them a lot, and it's going to be one of those things. Also, if the company does not produce the exact model for replacing the filter, then you will have issues, because it has to be the exact model for certain brands and certain models and things. And so it's going to be like, this filter is too small or too big, or it doesn't fit, and it's going to be kind of like you are married to that brand. And if people know that they are married to your brand, then they will become more expensive, because people will know that you have to buy them, and at this point you will lose as a customer, because you don't have choices. And so it's kind of like a thing. So if you're going to sell things, and you have a lot of those containers, you will be able to sell them like crazy. Everybody will get those. Containers for fuel will be sold, but especially in the beginning of the problems. But when people realize that it is a pain in the butt or kind of thing, trying to get fuel for the generators and things like this, then people are just going to give up about the fuel containers and things like this. So you will be able to sell them through a trend, but when people store them, and then it's like, are you really going to spend 3 weeks of your life trying to get fuel so that you can get one container, and then 3 weeks more for the next container and things like this? Then yeah, I don't need to tell you that, like I said, certain products, you get them because you have no choice. But then every time that you see that container empty, or being in your house that you need to get it again or whatever, yeah, you're going to probably feel horrible, and that's not going to help you sell it. So you will sell those in the beginning, but not later on, because most people later on are just going to find other alternatives, and they're not going to spend 3 weeks on the freaking line to try to get fuel. So no. And when you're selling something, you have to realize that a lot of people, like I said, will have no money, and at the same time, a lot of people will not get the same product every day or every week or every month. So, for example, you need to buy a lot of salt. However, let's say that you buy 5 kilos of salt or 10 pounds of salt. Yeah, you have enough for the entire year. You're not this family, the entire family, is not going to buy salt for another year. So how many families, do you have to know, or how many families have to go to your place so that you can sell all of the salt that you're probably storing? And so stuff that you will be able to sell a lot will be food. I have a lot of videos on that. So if you wanted to take a look at that so that you can see how to sell it and trade it and all of that, that is there. But in terms of products, I have mentioned a lot, and I have mentioned a lot of the selling process. And if you wanted to know more, like I said, I have a lot of books in Gumroad. You can take a look if you wanted to. And I hope that this is helpful somehow. If you have any questions or comments, I will be happy to answer them the best I can. And if I think that the topic is too long or something, I might be able to do another video. And anyway, thank you for your trust, and see you again soon.